Hi, gang. This is Jonathan Eder at the piano lesson, and I hope everyone's doing well. This week I had a lesson with a student, and we did the piece Clair de Lune, and I was marveling at the beauty and simplicity that the composer used in the piece. And really, it's just a major scale. The major scale that we all practice as musicians and we kind of sometimes dread practicing and get tired of, but how important it is and how vital it is to our understanding of music. And just by changing certain little bits about a scale, it turns into something completely different. So I just thought it would be worth mentioning that this week and just talking about how just by changing certain little details we can transform a piece of music or a major scale into something beautiful. The first little tune that comes to mind when I hear a major scale. So here's our C major scale, right? I hear this tune kind of coming up on Christmas, I suppose. Not trying to jump the gun, but Joy to the World. Precisely these exact same notes, right? I'm playing each one once. Long, long, short, long, long, right? Joy to the world, our Lord has come, right? There's the major scale. Hey, why not take little pieces of music and create exercises out of them? Even transposing exercises. That's something that, unfortunately, a lot of students and musicians are kind of averse to doing. They're afraid to transpose things. Well, that's not terribly difficult to transpose, right? If you take in G major, joy to the world, right? Or D major, right? A major. E major, B major, right? F sharp major, C sharp major, A flat, E flat, playing in different registers, B flat, F major. Trying to harmonize that too with those are just kind of basic primary chords, right, and diatonic harmonies. That would be something to really develop your playing, and to kind of shatter that whatever fear you might have of transposing. Okay, now certainly one of the most beautiful melodies I've ever run across is Clair de Lune, and it happens to be in the key of D flat. I'm going to just play it in C because I just happened to find this simplified version online, and I think it would just make explanation a little bit easier. But the tune, for those of you who don't know, it's in. By the way, it's in a compound meter, and I want to make sure everyone kind of understands what we're talking about. We're talking about a compound meter. So you have two basic types of meter. So we usually use the word time signature. So the time signature is the description of the meter, like 2/4 or 3/4, right, or 4/4. But it's the groupings. It's whether or not we're in a what meter we're in. Right? The time signature is just the expression of the meter. So simple meters. 2/4, 3/4, and we even consider 4/4 simple meter. Why? Because we have regular groupings of beats, and those beats are accented. So like loud, soft, 1, 2, 1, 2, right? Or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And by the way, potentially a simple meter could be 3/8 as well. It doesn't have to be 3/4. You could have the beat represented by an eighth note just as easily as a quarter note. It doesn't mean it's not a simple meter. A compound meter, we have two sets of threes. So 6/8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, where you have two accents. The second accent is softer. It's an important distinction. Another compound meter, well, 3 plus 3 plus 3, 9, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? That's our compound meter. That's the meter of the Clair de Lune, actually. And like many great pieces, it doesn't start on a note, it starts on a rest. That's what makes it beautiful. It's the term sometimes that's used is rhythmic displacement. So if I play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, da, da, da. Now what happened there? 1, da, da, da. What happened there is that we broke the rule. We went from groupings of threes. Typically we refer to groupings of threes as triplets. Why am I not referring to groupings of threes here as triplets? Because the groupings of threes are not the exception to the rule. They're the rule. That's why we choose meters of compound meters where you have groupings of threes. In the third measure of the piece, they have duplets. They have 2 against 3. Okay? 2 against 3. So 2 against 3. Little trick. Both right, left, right. Both right, left, right. Both right, left, right. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And you got to get good at being able to shift between taking a measure, slicing it, or taking a section of a measure, having groups of threes, and then taking the same amount of time as you typically use for a grouping of 3 and only play 2 notes, right? But that's kind of the trick to use. I learned that as a kid. I was very frustrated, and I think I was in my high school band, and I'm trying to remember. It'll come to me. His name will come to me in a moment. But he was a wonderful guy, percussionist, who was the principal percussionist of the New Jersey Symphony. Boy, did I have good teachers. Poof. Ed Fay, that's his name, Ed Fay. I don't know if he's around anymore. But he was super nice. I was like practically in tears, and he helped me to get this 2 against 3. So both, you could do it either way, right? But both right, left, right, that would be the 3s in the right hand, or both left, right, left, that would be the 3s in the left hand. Bum, 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 bum. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So the piece is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3. Grouping of 2. 1. Da 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 ding 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 1. Dee da 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 dee da da dee da da 1 da 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 dee da 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 1 da dee da 8 9, and then the left hand comes in, and then the melody is back. But that's basically the melody. Very, very sweet melody. What is it? It's really just this. It's just a scale and a little bit of a triad. This well, that's in the key of C. That's the 5th. G, octave higher, and then E. That's the 3rd of the chord. So you have your triad. There was a theme to a soap opera. Da dee da. Da 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 da. I don't know. I think they ripped it off. Was it Days of Our Lives or As the World Turns or something? You'll make a comment and help me out on that one. But so why does the piece not sound like a major scale? I mean, why is it so wonderfully disguised, and how does it become so magical when effectively the piece is just this? By the way, not many pieces of music even traverse an octave. That's a really long, and then all the way down to the the B, but an octave and a fifth, more, or octave and a sixth. That's a big range for a melody. The typical melody that comes to mind when you think of an octave is somewhere over the rainbow. That's the typical melody that you'd think of for an octave. So Claude Debussy, I'm always so self-conscious when I say his last name, by the way. I had another one of my wonderful teachers, my voice teachers, who spoke 5 languages, and I had like 2 years of French and really bad French. And I'm sorry, Mademoiselle Grossman, I was a bad student, but making sure I have even accents on my syllables like they do in French, Debussy, because Americans, we say, what do we say? I would say Debussy, or we say Debussy, right? Or we say Debussy, right? All those are kind of wrong. I don't speak French, and I'm not a snob about that, but I think about it, the way I try to pronounce it, I think of the letter W, but I think of W-C, letter C, W-C, even accents. Okay, enough of that. What he does is he takes those scale tones and ornaments them. He ornaments them using typically what are called neighbor tones. So what's a neighbor tone? Neighbor tone is just another scale tone, a step away. In this instance, it's typically above a note, but it could be below. But it's another decorative note. Typically, it's a non-chord tone, but it's a scale tone, and it's just above. So he does this big leap, right? And then he does this. Well, the decoration is the E, and I'll let you guys see what I'm doing. There's the octave, there's the E, and then there's the D. That's the E is the decoration. That's the upper neighbor, and then the next note comes in on the second beat. 1, 2, 3. There's the upper neighbor, and then he goes up a third. I don't even think of that as a melody note. I almost think of it as a harmonic, a sympathetic overtone. Upper neighbor, B, count 2, upper neighbor. Now here, instead of a third, he goes up a fourth, and I think of that as a overtone as well. I don't play that particularly loud. A lot of people will do this. They'll go and whack it. Don't whack it. Don't whack it. I also pedal with my fingers, so I hold this note down, I listen to the end of the note, and I match the decay of that note and continue. G, upper neighbor, rest, tie, upper neighbor, big long tie, over the bar line, count 2 again, repeat the note, upper neighbor, up a fourth, upper neighbor, back to the C. But it's interesting, we're back to C, but it doesn't sound like the tonic. Upper neighbor, here's the B, and it gets to the dominant chord, and then finally in the bass we hear the C. And there's your reprise of the octave that we had earlier, and just making sure. Let's see. Yeah, the first time, very interesting point also. The first time we hear that octave, we hear that beginning on count 2 and ending on count 3. 1, 2, 3, right? Not the case when it comes in again. It actually comes in on count 3, and then the high note is on count 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What does that do? Well, besides adding variety, it creates a sense of, I don't want to use the word finality because the piece isn't over, but it gives the piece a certain fortitude, a certain strength that it doesn't quite have in the beginning because it starts on these weak beats. 1, 2, 3, right? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those are the big beats in a meter of 9, right? 3 groups of 3. Count 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9. Those are the big beats. So that's what you have to be aware of. That's what makes these pieces so tricky. You know, there's a lot of deception in them. There's a lot of repetition, right? And they sound deceptively similar, but you know, they're radically different rhythmically, and that's what makes these pieces kind of tricky. So and just, you know, I'm not going to really get into the harmony that much, but C major, and then he does this. You know, that now there's probably a lot of words for that, but I'm just going to call it it's a minor 4 chord. It's the A flat, F A flat, or diminished. Then the 2 chord or the 5 chord, and then the D minor, then G7, and then he does this. That's, in common terms, we'll call that 5 of 6, relative minor, dominant of A minor, relative minor, D minor, inversion, C, G7, and back to the C. Right? Really amazing harmonies. You could do so much with that. Maybe I could noodle with it for a second. Isn't that interesting? Those are stacked diminished chords. Now, we started today by talking about taking tunes and making them into exercises. They're more fun and it's more musical, right? And also encourage you to transpose. So don't you think you could do that with this piece, right? First, though, do it stripped down, okay? So stripped down, again, is really... That's stripped down, okay? So let's pick a key. I'm just throwing these out. I haven't really practiced them, but you know, here's the, I'm starting on the 5th of the scale. So the key of G, I'd start on a D. Right? That would be the simple exercise, right? Or the key of F, starting on the 5th, C. Okay, and we're doing ba, da, da. How about just the first 3 notes, right? 5th, octave higher, 3rd, and here's the root, right? Key of G, 5th, octave higher, 3rd, and there's the root. All right. E flat, 5th, octave higher, 3rd, B flat. B flat, G, and then the E flat. I mean, take little bits of the piece, but I'll just stay at E flat. Da da da, then da da da, then da da da. It goes up a 3rd. Oops, yeah, remember that. Da 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 da. Then it steps down. Da. Then it goes up a 4th. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Goes up a 4th again. Da 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 da. Da dee da. In the 5 chord, and then we're back to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, develop a little bit of, you know, plasticity is the word, right? When you're practicing, you know, I mean, yes, when you first learn a piece of music, it's hard. Even, no matter how good you get it, music is hard. Okay, so you have to, you learn, you do the best you can. You learn in the key that it's written in, but start to tinker with it, especially if you're a jazz guy. Jazz guys are no different than classical guys. They just like to tinker a bit more, okay? They like to get under the hood and mess with it. And I know classical guys who like to tinker too. They're just afraid to do it in public, honestly. What's another key? Well, let's go back to G. Fourth, D7, and then you're back to the G major, okay? What if you're playing with a singer and the singer can't sing in the key that you play in? What are you going to do? Press the button in your keyboard? Yeah, you can do that now. There's just something so, I don't know. I mean, it's not cheating, but it's just no fun. It's fun playing in other keys because unexpected things happen. Crazy things happen. The way the keyboard feels, you play the piece differently. It's just different. Key of F. Third, fourth, move up a fourth, C7. There's your little exercise, okay? We'll do just a couple more for the heck of it. B flat, and you're doing your primary chords. Third, fourth, fourth, and 5/7 chord, F7. So what difference does it make what key the piece is in? Now, this piece is actually in D flat. D flat, by the way, everybody's scared of these keys. They're the easiest keys in the world to play in. And also, you'll notice that guys that don't see so well, Stevie Wonder or Art Tatum, or they play in these keys: D flat, B major, or G flat, right? Okay. The keys that use all the black keys, the major scales that use all the black keys, right? Super easy. Why are they super easy? Because, think about it. You got how many notes in a scale? Well, how many letters in the musical alphabet? 7, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's it, and then you repeat. Okay, so there's basically seven letters. Now, if you're using all the black keys, how many black keys are there? Well, there's 5 black keys. There's a group of 2 and a group of 3, okay? So all that's left is 2 white keys. So if 3 of the keys, there's 3 keys that use all the black keys, 3 major scales that use all the black keys. They also happen to be the enharmonic keys. B major, C flat, F sharp, G flat, D flat, C sharp. Right? Those are the 3 enharmonic keys. If you've used up all the 5 black keys, there's only 2 white keys available. So what do you got to learn? Well, those 3 scales have those black keys in common. You don't have to learn those. You have to learn the white keys that are different. And guess what? One of those 2 scales starts on a white key. I mean, if it's a B scale, it's a white note. So there's not much to remember. Now, B, there's 2 white keys, B, and up a 4th E. And then you have the black keys, there. So you have, let me just show you real quick here. There's your B and your E. Those are the 2 white keys. All right? Right? And you're back to the B again. Here's G flat, or F sharp. All right? So these are the 2 white keys. Right? Those are the 2 unique white keys. They surround the group of 3 black notes. The tricky thing about that particular scale is the spelling for some people. I'm kind of a stickler for spelling. Spelling's not that hard, but go in alphabetical order, okay? If you start with some kind of an F, the next letter has to be some kind of a G or an A, right? So in this case, if I'm starting with F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, that's the white key, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, and then F sharp. So E sharp is the white key. It's also called F. There's nothing wrong with an E sharp. Don't freak out, okay? But you got to call it E sharp because all scales look like steps on the staff. Space line, space line, space line. If I don't call that E sharp, if I call it F, I'm going to have two note heads on the same line or the same space, and I'm going to be scratching my head as a musician and wondering, you know, why they're spelling cat with a K, okay? That's just poor grammar. Or G flat, A flat, B flat, C flat, that's the white key, which is also called B. D flat, E flat, F, that's where you use the F, G flat. Okay, now the D flat scale, or the C sharp scale, right? D flat, A flat, D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, C. So this is a perfect fifth. That forms a perfect fifth to the left of the groups of black notes, right? The B scale, that forms a perfect fourth to the right of the groups of black keys. And then the G flat surrounds, that's the tritone. And another little helpful hint, by the way, if you forget how many sharps and flats are in a key, the C's, okay? C has no sharps or flats, everybody knows that, but C sharp has all the sharps, 7 sharps, and C flat has all the flats, 7 flats, okay? You can have up to 7 sharps or flats. Why? Because there's 7 letters in the musical alphabet, all right? Those are, and typically you'll never run across explicitly the key of C flat, but here if I wanted to play it in the original key, D flat, up a third, up a fourth, up a fourth, and you play the dominant chord, right? Piece of cake, piece of pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie, everything's pumpkin now. Everybody makes fun of that. Everything's, yeah, pumpkin. Hey, you know, how about pumpkin toothpaste? Ooh, that would be frightening. I think pumpkin ice cream's maybe not bad. I don't know. I mean, I got nothing against pumpkins, you know, but it is a bit excessive, don't you think? Write me and tell me. And send me a salami. I used to watch a show on local cable TV, the Spag show, and he used to say, "You are humanity." I always thought that was kind of a nifty little slogan. He also used to say, "Jumpin' Jahorsey farts." Yes, that was a long time ago. I'm showing my age here. Okay, well, I'm going to get going. Great I didn't actually see you, just metaphorically speaking. Great to see you. And drop me a line and let me know how you're doing. Let me know if you have questions. Let me know if things you'd like me to cover. This is Jonathan Eder at the Piano Lesson signing off. Until next time, bon appetit. That's what the Galloping Gourmet used to say. Okay, see you next time. Bye.